Hey guys, this is the Iron Mobility Fitness channel. I'm Coach Hallie, and this is our series, the 12 Days of Holiday Workouts. And today is day 11, so we have quads and squats. Okay, so it's a very squat, quad, hip, glute focused workout, lots of squat variations that we're going to be doing. Let's get warmed up. You just need a few kettlebells, maybe 2 or 3, a box or a bench. I'll be using both because I'm going to be doing some step ups on the box and some Bulgarian split squats in a little bit with the bench. You can probably use a bench and or just a box, but I have both, so I'm going to use both. All right, anyway, we're going to get started with some standing hip cars. So what I'm going to do is just balance in my space on one leg and do 2 reps of a hip car, standing nice and tall. So I'm just going to reach both arms straight out and protract through my scaps, shift my weight onto my standing leg, lift my working leg up, drive up into as much hip flexion as I can get, sweep the leg out to the side. This is my left leg, so it's going out to the left. I'm going to drop the knee down, sweep the heel back, internally rotating through my hip, find my full hip extension, keep my rib cage and pelvis stable. Bring it forward, take a breath, and then reverse all that. Drive back into hip extension, sweep the leg up to the left, externally rotate through your hip, knee pulls up toward the sky, bring it forward, and rest it down. 1 more rep like that. Here we go. Just keep breathing, keep stabilizing. You want to stand tall as possible. If you need an object to hold on to, that is totally fine. This just adds the challenge of balance as well as hip mobility if you're doing it freestanding without a wall or a chair to hold on to. Either way is totally fine. Woo! Already feeling that. I'm a little tight today. It's cold out, so we're going to get moving here in a second a little more dynamically, but let's finish our mobility warm-up here. Right leg moving through that full rotation of your hip joint while keeping the rest of the body as stable as possible. And now reverse it. I love this, hip cars, shoulder cars. I'm an FRC mobility specialist, and it really is like flossing your joints. You know how you have to floss your teeth every day to get the gunk out? That's what we're doing with these cars. They're controlled articular rotations of our joint, and it helps just, floss out that joint. Make sure that our ligaments and tendons are moving smoothly. We want to get that full range of motion on a daily basis to keep the joint healthy. Okay, so now we're going to go into some capsule rotations, and we're going to do these laying down on our back. So I'm going to send my legs out this way, and we'll start with the left leg since we started the hip cars with the left leg. So I'm just going to put my fingertip on my knee's right above my hip, ankle right in line with my knee, and I'm going to rotate at the base of my hip, and my foot's going to follow across as if I'm trying to pull my foot toward my opposite ear. And I'm just going to hold there for a breath and slowly rotate through center, and then internally rotate my hip. So I'm working all this on the side of my glute medius and minimus, to bring my foot out to the side. But again, the rotation's happening at the base of the hip joint. That femur bone is rotating in the hip socket. And go to your end range and try to pull that foot further across without moving the knee around. Okay, so the knee staying right above the hip. And internally rotate again, trying to spiral that foot out. The tibia bone, fibia bone are following. And 1 more in each direction. And you'll find that these are super simple. And it's just a really simple way to get that whole muscle complex around the joint to activate in its full range of motion, because our hip does so much more than just flex and extend. It does rotate a lot. It's one of our most mobile joints. Here we go, other side, 3 in each direction. Oh yeah, feeling all of this work to try to pull that foot toward your opposite ear. Spiral slowly through center. Internally rotate at the hip. Again, you don't want to move the knee or the femur bone around in space, but we are just rotating it as if we're like wringing out a towel, or we have a rotisserie chicken as a good visual with these capsule rotations. If you can imagine, like your thigh bone is a rotisserie chicken, it's just spiraling on that metal piece cooking on the rotisserie. So that kind of made me hungry. One more in each direction here. And the fingertip on the knee is just really there to help keep you honest about whether or not your leg is moving. Rotate it back to center. Awesome. Sweet. And then we're going to do some hip flexion hovers. So we're going to sit up, and you can take a kettlebell or a yoga block or a small object, and we are going to hover over the object, engaging our quads and our hip flexors to lift with control and lower with control. So we're trying to not crash down and let the leg just fall. We're controlling every moment of this activation here. So sit up nice and tall in this figure 4 position. My opposite leg can really ground down into the floor, trying to keep my chest lifted. My hands can reach behind me, tenting my fingertips. And we're gonna keep the leg straight as we inhale, and then exhale, lift, hover over the object, control it down. We're just doing 3 reps total, so this is 1 rep going up and back, and we have 2 more. So use your exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Oh yeah. 1 more, going over. And back to where you started. Woo. We're just going to switch the leg. Make sure your object is basically in line with your ankle, because you want to lift over right basically at the center of your ankle, where you have to lift pretty high to get over it. Here we go. Big exhale. Inhale. 2 more, and you don't even really necessarily need an object. Woo! Because these are so challenging, you could just lift and hover over the air, of course, but having an object just gives you a visual and a target to reach over. And of course, it's harder the taller your object is. Last one. Woo! Okay, just take your fists, massage out your quads and hip flexors a little bit, and then we're going to get started with our strength superset, which is goblet squats and step-ups. Here we go. So I'm going to set up my box here to this side. So I just have it ready for my step-ups. And since I'm outside on a lumpy ground, I am just going to keep it simple and do a 12-inch box, just making sure I'm being careful. You know, if I was on a flat surface, maybe I would go a little higher. But we're going to keep it simple today and do a shorter box. And you could do this at home with, you know, a little step stool. Just make sure it's stable and strong enough for you. Or if you have a staircase at home and you can do some steps on the stairs, that's always a good option. But we're going to start the superset with a goblet squat. And the wind. So we're going to start the superset with a goblet squat, and we're going to do a dead clean before each squat. So from the ground, you're going to hinge over, dead clean the belt up into your goblet position, squat, stand, bring the bell back down, and repeat for 8 reps. So you have 8 dead cleans into the goblet squat. Okay, just going to get my timer set and ready here. Okay, so we're doing 8 rounds of the dead clean to a goblet squat. So you're just going to find your hinge position, take a big breath in, exhale, pull the belt up, inhale, squat, exhale to stand. And then just repeat that 7 more rounds. Just making sure you're moving with your breath. It's not about speed here, it's about control, taking your time to get your full range of motion. Four more. Make sure you pack those lats in, pull it up. 2 left. Last one. Bring her down and just move that belt off to the side. Now we're going to go into some step ups, and I'm going to do this with 2 bells, alternating feet as we step up. You can of course do 1 bell, hold it on one side. You could rack them, whatever you want to do. I'm doing 2 bells, just holding them down in the suitcase position. And we're going to do 8 step ups on each leg. Here we go. So just start with whatever foot you want on top, and you're just pressing up, coming down, and then switch at the bottom, standing tall. And again, I'm not using a super tall box right now because I'm on a lumpy ground, but if you feel confident with a taller box or step stool, whatever you have at home, that's totally fine. We got 5 more on each leg. And really send your hip back as you're coming down so you control that descent and you feel the glute max stretch as you descend to get that eccentric load. 3 more on each side. Keep breathing, using the exhale to stand. One more each leg. Last breath. Good. Just set those bells down. We're going to take a short water break, and then we have 1 more set of that, and then we have a fun finisher for today. I'll explain that when we get to it. It's a little chilly here, so my hands on the bells are pretty cold. Got to bring some feeling back into my fingers, and then we'll go again. Okay, so now we have the second set, starting with the dead clean and goblet squat. So set yourself up for that. Make sure your bell starts right in between your feet, underneath your center of gravity. And here we go. Hinge over. Big breath in. Exhale. And squat. Exhale, stand. Move with your breath. Six more. Woo, feels good. And we're only doing 2 sets of this superset today because this is supposed to be just like a 20-minute workout. But if you want to pause and go back after this set and do a 3rd set of the squats and step-ups, be my guest. More power to you. Awesome. 3 more. Last round. Woo! Awesome. Take a moment, shake that out, and move that bell off to the side. We have the step ups again, so You know, if you want to do the second set with heavier weight or a taller box to make it more challenging than the first set, feel free to do that. I'm going to keep it the same for safety purposes. Okay. Here we go. Trying not to rest too much in between. We're going up onto that box. As we exhale, inhale, controlling the descent, feeling the stretch in the glute. And we've got 8 on each leg. So just take your time with it. You know, my heart rate is elevated from the goblet squats. I'm still feeling that. I'm trying to slow down my breath as I move through these step-ups. We got 5 more on each leg. Really focusing on that tall posture, keeping those shoulders back, away from your chest. Whoop. Little movement on my box there. I stepped a little too far forward, but it's all good. Keep going. Just make sure you feel safe on your step. 3 more on each leg. You got this, guys. 2 more each side. And then we've got something really fun to finish this workout with some Bulgarian split squats. Woo, last rep. Oh yeah. Set those bells down. Oh, my hands are cold. But we did it. We made it through that. Pretty amazing. Okay, so this is where you might want a bench or a chair to put your back foot on. Because my box is not padded, I'm going to use the bench, but you can use either one, and it really depends on the height of your box and things like that. But what I want to go over first before we go into this is how to set yourself up for the distance from your bench or box. You're going to sit on it, extend your working leg out, and then just drag your heel back like an inch so the knee is slightly bent. That's where your foot is going to be as your front leg, okay? And then your back leg is going to go up onto your bench or your box, and we're gonna load with kettlebells, but you're gonna bend into both legs and come down as fully as you can, and then stand up as you exhale. Now, what we're gonna do is what we call an AMRAP. So as many reps as possible in the amount of time. So we're gonna do 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest to transition between sides, and we're gonna do 3 minutes of that. Oh, 6 minutes of that technically, because you have 1 minute of work and rest on each leg, and we're gonna do 3 rounds, okay? So get yourself a sip of water. I'm gonna set up my timer, and then we're gonna meet back here to do the Bulgarian split squat AMRAP. Woo! Okay guys, here we go. I'm using 2 kettlebells. I've got 2 12-kilogram bells, so it's about 54-ish pounds, 52-ish pounds. I can do math. But you're going to set yourself up again on the edge of your box. We're going to get started in about 10 seconds. So set yourself up, bring that front foot forward, grab your bells. We have 30 seconds of work here in 3, 2, 1, begin. And again, it's not about racing and breezing through these. We're doing controlled tempos with a pretty heavy load, right? We got a little over 50 pounds. 10 more seconds on this side. Ooh. We got this. Try to get in a few more reps. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. Those are pretty killer after the step ups and the goblet squats, especially with this weight for me. Now, we have about 20 seconds left of rest, and then we have the other side. So just prepare mentally, take a few breaths, since I dropped my bells right in the spot that I need them in, I can just stand, pick them up from here. We're going in 3, 2, 1, begin. Just think about finding a nice stretch on the way down. Don't worry about counting your reps. It might change every set, because as we get more tired, we'll probably do less toward the end. And that's when you know you're working with a good weight, a good challenging weight for yourself, is when you get to that third set and you're like, oh, I can maybe do just a few in the 30 seconds. Last one to finish it. Ooh, rest. Oh yeah. Just 30 seconds of rest. Okay, guys? We got 2 more rounds on each side. Take some time to breathe. And I know the legs don't really get a lot of time of rest because that back leg is still working just a little bit. So just do what you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Use those exhales. You got it. 20 seconds. Big breath in. 12 seconds left. You can do it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Oh yeah. That's a struggle, even on the second set at the end of the 30 seconds. 15 seconds left of rest. Here we go. 10 seconds. You got this. Just think about how good you're going to feel once it's all done. 3, 2, 1. Begin. Trying to load into that front leg as much as you can. 15 seconds left. You got this. I'm telling myself as much as I'm telling you guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. We can do it. Just one more round on each side, and then we are done with this workout, guys. Here we go. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Set yourself up. Last round on this leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin. Focus on your breath. We can do it. 14 seconds. Come on. 5, 3, 2, 1. Woo! That last one was a struggle. But we still got a decent amount of reps in. And we have just one more leg to do. Last 30 seconds of work, guys. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. We got this. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin. Even if you only do like 3 reps in the 30 seconds, that's 1 rep every 10 seconds. That's something. 15 seconds left. Get a few more reps in, guys. Push through that floor. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we're done. We did it. Wowza. We're going to be feeling that tomorrow. But tomorrow, Coach Jeffrey's working out with you, and he has a really fun swing EMOM variation to finish out these 12 days of holiday workouts. Thanks for joining me. I hope you had fun. Hope it wasn't too much of a struggle for you, but in a good way to get those gains. And we'll see you tomorrow. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified when tomorrow's video drops. All right, bye.